cutest owl ever.
Oh,
When he's awake, he's just reading a little book, and it's so cute.
a little book. Is it a? I was like, I wonder what kind of book it is. Hey guys, Spam Waits here. Okay,
Wow, like, hi, we had an Animal Crossing moment because I'm playing Animal Crossing,
she
like, for a little
is.
bit.
She is. But welcome, guys, to Check and Talk Thursday. I am joined with
Dragon!
Hi Dragon, and yes,
Hi.
Check and Talk. Where's the week where I just drive and we talk about stuff really. I knew I
Yeah.
should have picked a load, but I think I could pick one now. Do I want to go back? I really need to go back to Washington. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going that far up Washington because I know that will take me a while. I really don't want to. I'm hoping I don't do what I did last time and pick two long loads and realize that it went too long.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm at the point where, like, I haven't. What's up? Hi, stream. When it comes to my week, I've got a lot going on, so, like, you're gonna. This won't. When I say I haven't slept all week, it's not because of bad reasons, it's for, like, a lot of really good, productive reasons. So at
Ah.
this point, if I don't go to sleep on time, which I'm already late, by the way, to go to sleep, so you know it's fine. I am
Aw.
actually okay with it because I've pretty much have become adjusted to the amount of hours of sleep I've been getting a night. And plus tomorrow
Ooh.
is my last day of work for the whole week. So I'm okay to go to work and put in earbuds and be like, bleh.
True, because usually your Fridays become like a dig ass, so like don't give a fuck sort of deal, right?
A little bit,
A
yeah.
little bit.
Plus, like, this week has been a little strange with, like, my new manager and, like,
Ooh.
how they brought her in, but, like, didn't really bring her in. Like, I'll get to that point in a
Oh.
little bit.
Oh boy, that sounds like fun.
All I
Definitely,
gotta
because you
say
feel
is
like you
this
have a
poor
lot.
thing is like, I have all the power and control now and I can support my team. Wait a minute, I have to stick to my regular schedule before I became a manager? And how am I supposed to manage when I'm not here as much on that schedule?
Oh,
Um,
that's pretty
so it's been
awkward.
interesting. The poor thing's just like, yeah, I'll explain that a little bit more, I think, when it comes to my turn, because, like, oh, this poor lady.
Aw, she still seems like a sweetheart though. For
She is.
even if all the changes and whatnot. But yeah, this week, huh? Let's talk
Yep.
about about what's going on this week. I realize, I guess, even with I'm gonna say this now because I don't think. Well, you could probably complain about your weather because I'm the person that would like to talk about weather. And sometimes, but I think this time it was like really weird, really weird week in terms of weather, in like a good way, because it was like hella warm ish for what it was for
Mhm.
February. I'm just like, that's like, wow, when did it become t-shirt weather? Like, actually became t-shirt weather for like a day. It actually
Damn.
felt nice to go out. The one thing I wish happened though was the fence be fixed, because actually that's what my parents thought as well. It's like, oh, maybe they'll fix it on the warm day. And I was like, on Tuesday. So we were thinking about that. But I guess my mom got a call from the neighbor who actually set up the whole thing. I think I said that last week, but or the week before, where the neighbor is just pretty much just gonna like oversee it, the whole thing, and my parents had already paid that part of it to them so they could just get it all working. Apparently, I never thought it would ever happen, but they ran out of wood.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was interesting to hear from them. They apparently ran out of like I'm pretty sure it's the prefab. So prefab fences. If you ever live in a suburb and you have those sort of fences, you most of them are prefabricated. So they're already built somewhere else and they just brought in just to install. I guess
Mm.
because of the big freak storm that happened
A month ago.
a month ago. Actually, yeah, it's been a month. Holy crap.
Yeah.
um, They've just basically ran out of fences, so now we really don't know when that our fence is gonna get fixed.
Mm.
Even though I'm pretty sure what I've heard that my neighbors has already paid for it.
Yeah.
So until if
Mm.
someone complains to say you better fix your fence now, we can keep on waiting until we can get our fence fixed. Basically.
Yeah, or like you could literally just be like, go to your neighbor and be like, "Hi, can you provide proof of why we don't have a fence fixed, please? Thank you."
Right. Oh yeah, I'm hope. Like really, the last thing we need to do is have HOA says you guys haven't got your fence fixed. It's like, well, I'm hoping you know. Our neighbor just told us that there's no the place we're getting our fence fixed has ended up running out of fence posts and all that
Yeah.
sort of deal. Oh, this truck is turning left, and I feel awkward being here.
Oh.
Oopsies! I thought this was a turn lane. No, I lied. This is not a
Oh
turn lane.
my god.
There we go. So it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a long while. Um, I'm kind of hoping like within the next couple weeks rather than being forever from now. Um, so that's that. Um, uh, and just, but aside from that, like it's been oddly nice to just get outside this week because it's been pretty nice and warm. Um, and I feel it seems like that everyone else has kind of gotten that notion because there
Mhm.
was mildly a lot of people outside in the warm weather. Granted, it was like a weekday, so it's like during midday, it wasn't as busy because a lot of people were probably at work or school. Um, but I could see everyone going out and about, and then like no jackets because what is cold? It's not cold, supposedly.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, as for me, I guess, because as for me, been slowly trying to work on my new video. I realized that I can't just take a week and then produce a video immediately when in terms of reviewing a product. Honestly, I thought I could, but no. It requires a little bit. It requires like a little bit of like a process because it's like I like been using this new device and I think I've been talking it. I don't know if I've ever talked about it here on stream. I know I talked it with you, Dragon. Like with all these Google devices that I decided to get because I want to be controlled by Google. Even though this is Amazon's product, which hi, whoever is now controlling Amazon, because it's not Jeff Bezos anymore supposedly. Um, but I've been trying to like smart home my life, like automate my life. Not really. It's just more of like having a
He's working towards it, basically.
uh, yeah, actually, I've been trying to get used to it a little bit more often because it is weird. I mean, let me reflect this question to you, like just briefly.
Mm.
How many times have you asked Siri to help you for anything?
Never.
See, I figured as much, because it's like unless if you're used to it, it will take a while to get used to. Like, wow, that didn't make sense. I mean, it's more like if you never use it ever, it will take a while to get used to it. There we go. That's how I wanted to say it. So it's like I've never like really used a lot of smart devices. I mean, it's only recently that I've controlled the rest of the home with Alexa. Granted, I think my parents have gotten used to it because I've gotten them an Echo Dot years ago, and I guess they've been talking to Alexa almost every day. Whoa, my wheel got sensitive. Hello. Um. So they've gotten used to it, but I haven't yet. So trying to like control everything out. Like I'm trying to like see as like will it be my sort of thing to um, automate things, ask Google to do this, and honestly I've gotten used to it. I mean, let me try this. Hey Google, turn off my light. See, and now it's suddenly darker. It's amazing because I've been also having like a lot of other like smart devices as they call it, like smart plugs and whatnot, and okay, why are there cars here? Guys, this is where truck's supposed to go. Can I go? Please? Guys? Guys? You guys are stupid. Hey Google, turn on the light. It's now suddenly dark in here. There we go, much better. So I was like, I've gotten used to like doing that, and it's actually been really really useful because for the lamp that I just turned off and turned on. Let me say it the right way. Um, I have it behind a monitor, so it takes a while for me to like go back there and actually turn on the lamp. But ever since I got it plugged into like a smart thing, and then I'd be able to ask Google to do that, it's amazing. It's amazing. Also, I have no idea what happened to my wheel, but all of a sudden it got sensitive. That's weird. Um, but trying to get that, trying to like figure out like what else I could do. So like what else I could do with this new Google thing. Um, Probably should kind of maybe explain what the device is. Have you ever like, hmm, ask me if I'm a truck? No, Blaze, I don't. I'm tempted now. Don't tempt me. But hi, Blaze. Um, the little device. I've ever seen like those like how would I call it, a smart clock or smart display sort of deal. It's like a tablet, but it only does like kind of limited things. Have you ever seen those things, Violet, like at stores?
I no.
No. Okay.
I work in a very basic kind of like store.
Dang, it's gonna ruin my fun. No worries. I'm glad to help. I'm glad to ruin it. Ah. I wish I could pull it out, but I feel like I'm gonna either one disconnect it or B destroy something in my room.
Yeah, no, 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 no. Well, like, can you like quickly? Well, I mean, you're driving, so I guess you can't because distracted driving. But
Right.
I was gonna say like you should pull up like an image or something like that on like internets and like put like capture that on your like
Ooh.
thingy bobber and then
Ooh
like
yeah.
this is what I'm talking about and what I will be reviewing. I don't know why I
Ooh.
did a stupid voice there, but I'm also sleep deprived completely, so
I wish I had. Oh wait, I have my thing. I will pull it out, but I destroy him. Dang, he really do be cracking. Wow, thanks.
I was going to drink water, but then I immediately stopped after I saw that.
Good job, Blaze. You done well. Um, I'm gonna pull it up on my phone and probably will show it on the webcam, sort of dealy. It'd be kind of broken, but I'm gonna try to keep my trek straight along the way.
Okay.
Google goggle. Nest.
Yes, goggle.
I can type. I swear, as of late, I cannot type on my phone for shits or giggles. Um, and everything that I type has been full of typos. It's great. It's amazing.
Same, because like I did a typing assessment for like a job that I applied for
Right.
recently, so now I'm like so focused on like typing, and I'm weirdly like self-aware about it. So now when
Oh
it goes to
no.
my phone though, because like I don't have to care about it on my phone,
Right.
I'm just like super lazy, and I'm like, oh my god, did I just spell like 5 out of those 10 words wrong?
Same. And then I was like, I feel like this is just a tangent. It's like for me, like when I type on my phone, I've noticed more and more typos, and autocorrect on my phone apparently does not want to work anymore. It's like it has fully given up to autocorrect some of the words I wanted to like retype, and then suddenly it's like, nah, we don't have to do that anymore. Oh, stupid wheel.
My phone likes to do the thing where it doesn't really autocorrect per se, but it will put random spaces in the words I'm trying to
Oh my
type, and then
god,
when I
yeah.
go back and look at it, and I'm like,
What the hell did I type?
what? This doesn't make, I don't know what I'm
Right.
saying now.
Okay, I'm hoping that kind of looks better. Let me try and drive as I change to my intermission screen.
This is not working.
I will get this. Oh man, it's blurred. But it looks like that. It looks like a little smart home.
Looks like a little tablet kind of thingy.
Yeah, like a little tablet. I was gonna like throw up my Switch because it's about that size. It's like around like 7 to 8 inches screen.
Oh, okay.
And it's like it's really cool. Like if you ever want to like automate something, like if you have like a smart home feature, like a smart thermostat or smart light bulbs that you could plug, that you could just like put into any of your like lamps and then say, "Hey Google, turn it on" or whatever.
Hey
Accidentally
Google, be my.
activated Google.
I was gonna say like, hey Google, be my bitch.
Hey Google,
Sorry.
be
Oh
my
god.
bitch. What does it say? Wait. Hey Google, stop. I did not know
Why?
Be My Bitch" by 50 Cent is a song.
Oh, oops.
Oops. almost almost TOS there. Hey Google, go home.
I'm already home.
Right, I know. Oh god, I hate this wheel. Hold on, I'm gonna do something with this wheel because all of a sudden my wheel got very, very sensitive. So turning is just It's like I'm in a go kart.
Mm-hmm.
There's like no resistance. It's weird. Okay. I'm gonna do it safe, and I'm actually gonna put on my four-way flashers, put it on to like neutral gear, and then press escape. As I'm gonna unplug my thing. Hopefully, it doesn't crash your computer, guys.
Oh boy, here we go, guys.
Okay. My computer.
This is entertaining.
I hope it is. I try to make it as entertaining as possible.
I just want to say something probably really random and weird, and Blaze will pick up on it because it's Blaze.
Oh
But
no, I'm
your
scared.
bed looks extremely comfortable, and I hate it because I'm so jealous.
Hi. Yeah, I have like a shit ton of pillows there, and I have like a nice 4-inch foam mattress topper. It's amazing. Hey, you spotted my wheel. Thank you.
If I like ever come over to his place ever, it's just me like nap party place.
Hey, that's
But like I get the
understandable.
bed, you get the floor, cause fuck it.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Oh goodness.
Okay, this is weird.
You're weird.
Understandable too.
I can't believe I went so elementary school there, but I did.
You really did.
I
Awesome.
know what you are, but what am I?
Awesome. I will. Cool.
I all I
I
got from
unplugged
that
the
was
power.
dying noises.
This
You,
explains a lot. If you take the
yeah.
power cable, maybe it'll actually start working.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yes, I have. Now I actually have a wheel working. I'm hoping. Please.
Oh,
Yay!
I
I do have
forgot
a wheel
to
working.
like retweet your tweet saying that we're live with me. Oops, my
This
bad.
is fine. That's okay. Um, where was I? Oh yeah, talking about smart home devices. So yeah, I got that last week. I've been slowly working on it, but I know for the fact I won't be able to get a video here soon. So like by tomorrow. So most likely that's gonna be uploaded next week. I'm gonna try to get some stuff recorded and create a script. I'm hoping I'll create a script this time around. I will.
Oh,
I'll
if you
try.
need help, I write speeches
Oh, you
for
do.
fun.
For
Um,
fun. Aw.
I was gonna say for a price, but I'm like, no, this organization's free. You
Aw.
have to pay to join it. Never mind. Like, please scratch that from the record. Um, I make speeches.
She
That's
does.
part of my many shit going on this week.
I mean, I'm hoping you guys heard her latest podcast episode. Please do if you haven't already.
Oh my god, please do. I've never been more proud of something in my life.
Honestly, I would say that I mean I'm gonna probably ask this more when we get to your turn, but it's like hearing your episode, your latest episode, and hearing all the things you've done with your speeches and whatnot. I'm honestly impressed,
Oh,
and it must be nice to just like do a little throwback on all your old speeches compared to your new ones. And honestly, I did see it. I would say I would did see a difference. So for you guys, I would give it a listen. Dragon, if you want to link your latest podcast episode, feel free. But do give her a follow and go listen to her latest episode because she's she's been working hard on it. I will say that, and she's
I
been
will
doing well.
say that like I'll give you a little like hint as like how I felt after recording it because it made me laugh because like I finished recording it and then I was
Mm-hmm.
gonna like upload it to edit it because I'm like I should probably edit it and like look into it and things like that. And
Right.
so while I was getting it ready into Movie Maker because I use Movie Maker, I'm so professional.
Pro.
Um, pro gamer YouTuber up what here? Yes. after I recorded it though and got that like ready and like kind of like
Mm-hmm.
waiting for the audio and videos to kind of like upload into the thing or whatever,
Right.
um, I like ended up flopping in my bed going, "Oh my
Aww.
god!"
That's amazing to hear.
Yeah,
Because I'm
and
pretty
then
sure.
like
Yeah.
there was barely any editing for that too. I was pretty impressed like with how
Oh,
it
wow.
came out. Like,
No
fun
way.
fact, that's pretty much unedited at this point. I think there's maybe like
Really?
I think there's like one or two small little sections I took out, but
Uh-huh.
that's it.
I could hear that actually. I was like listening to the thing. It's like, did she just go through this like almost one whole way through? Because it's like you were able to transition from one speech to your next speech to your next speech with little to no issue.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Dang, you got it
Um,
down.
I know. I was like, oh my god, Toastmasters is helping me with my podcasting. What?
Yes. Like that's amazing to hear, honestly.
Hmm.
So yeah, guys, go give that a listen. I'm pretty sure she's gonna talk about it more when we get to her part. Um,
Oh, absolutely.
um, so yeah, I'm hoping I'll have a video up for tomorrow. I still got like I think maybe some backlog left of other things that I want to upload. I'll get that working, then I'll be working on my either it's gonna be a review or like a look. Or like I don't know if I want to do like a formal like tech review sort of thing like this is what it is, this is the specs or like that. Or I do something like how I did some like comparison. Or something informal like a vlog, who knows. It's one or
Why
the
not all three? Just kidding.
other. Why not everything? Because knowing if I no I'm kidding. Just like knowing if I do everything I feel like it's gonna be everywhere again. But I feel like I should at least make some valiant effort to make it as
Mm.
formatted as possible. That's probably the better word I'm thinking of. Just so at least have some sort of thing going on that everyone can like understand, be able to like listen to, and gather some insight. Because I'm still kind of surprised that the video that the TiVo 4K versus Chromecast with Google TV comparison is oddly going up. Seems like a lot of people are also getting into the smart TV thing, and I wonder if I helped them out. I don't know yet.
Huh.
It's been slowly getting up there, so maybe if I start reviewing other products, maybe other people will know.
Ooh. I just went to take a peek at like, cause like the last time I talked to Spam
Mm-hmm.
was like a week ago ish, almost a week ago, and
Right.
it was like at like 48 views, and I'm like, hot damn, 117.
Right? I didn't expect. It's like it's been like slowly going up there still. I also wonder if it's probably the thumbnail that's everyone getting like looking at because it was I felt really good taking that thumbnail and editing it. Um, Thinking that I'm like a pro person on doing it. But like I looked at like my video analytics and all that stuff because I was honestly curious. It's like what's going up? So how are they searching this up? And like I've looked at the analytics. It's like yeah, keywords is the two things that I put on my title: the TiVo Stream 4K and Chromecast Google TV. And then the next thing is like I'm looking is like at viewer retention just to see how much, like how many minutes people watch on average the video. And I was honestly surprised that it was actually 3 minutes, even though it's a 28-minute video. Yeah, I know that's pretty long, but I thought I
Mm.
was gonna get like 30 seconds at best. 3 minutes.
Wow.
I wonder if my thing that I did below, if you guys go to that video and go to descriptions, I have timestamps. So I wonder if that ended up becoming very useful for them to like pick
Oh.
which thing they wanted. It's like, hey, I want to know about the specs, or I want to know how the video test or game test or whatever. I wonder if that worked out. I wish I knew, but it only just shows me average.
Hmm. That was the one thing I forgot for this podcast episode is to do that. I forgot. I knew I forgot something in the description. I was gonna do timestamps for each speech, but I was like, I forgot. But next time there will be timestamps,
I'm
maybe if I remember. My brain.
I'm probably gonna be the volunteer. I'm probably gonna give the lesson one more time. I could probably figure out where to timestamp most of their speeches. Do
Yeah,
like a
you probably
intro like
be a
that.
little bit better about that than me, because I probably sit there and be like,
Where did it start?
mm, or get distracted by like my own words and like watch the whole video and be like, oh, I was doing things with my notebook and I didn't do the thing.
I I would say it felt like you were really telling a story because whenever you're like going to your next page in your notebook, it's like, and we're turning the page, turn the page.
Literally, it's so funny though because like I've done so much in between some speeches that
Right.
like my page flipping, I was like, oh, I'll get there. Like, just hang on a second. Like, nerp, nerp, nerp.
And then you just hear the swiping. So like you hear like
Yay.
paper swipe, another swipe.
I know,
But
I was really debating about editing that out, but I was like, wait a minute, no, I am kind of like doing like a little story here, so like it kind of works with the effect.
it really did. It made it more like a home, like a sort of homey type of episode where it's like, yeah, you're just telling a story of what you
Hmm.
were doing, like how your speeches were as you gone through like each and every speech. So it's like it didn't feel like yeah, like as I said, it felt very homey. It felt like you were just there reading to us and being like ready and feel like a small group, nothing like a big presentation for like say a forum or something like that. But it's like you're really like keeping it personal in some ways, or yeah, in a small group sort of vibe, like a nice homey vibe. I hope that made
Well,
sense.
I think that episode for the podcast, like this recent one, is really good for like my iPhone, like my iPhone. I didn't mean to say iPhone. I'm words. My icon, like my YouTube icon
Uh
now,
huh.
and like my Twitter icon, like the I've got that on everything now because it's
Ooh.
her reading a book, right? And the book says Dragon's Den. So then I was like, oh, this is the episode this is the vibe that I want for the podcast. Is where like
Aww.
literally sit down, enjoy like a hot cocoa or a coffee or something, and just listen and take whatever you get from it, basically.
Right. Aww.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely glad that you like. I've definitely got that vibe for this the latest episode, where it's like, yeah, very cozy feeling as you're just telling everything. Maybe
Yeah.
there should be a podcast episode where you just read a short story,
Dragon reads.
right?
Yeah.
I know you've done that actually for like a couple of things, right? Like little short excerpts and whatnot for like prior to doing Dragon's Den podcast.
Yeah, like I read a lot of articles from georgetakai.com because they were either really funny, entertaining, or like I had no idea about the thing.
Right.
I did that. Then I did one reading of The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe,
Ooh.
which I love it. So I did that before, but then now I've transitioned to full on this podcast. But maybe
Right.
there'll be like a maybe when life can slow down, I could do like potentially a third video a week where it's like me reading a short story I found somewhere randomly.
That like pulled you in, and it's like maybe I should be a storyteller as well at the same time, or some sort of thing like that.
I will say now, if I do that, prepare for a lot of Edgar Allan Poe and potentially Shakespearean sonnets,
Ooh.
because my life is pretty much that.
Just those two.
Just those two. But I'll probably throw in some like other genres that people may not know about, like Canadian literature, because that's
Ooh.
actually a genre. Because we Canadians have an interesting perspective on the world that's neither wrong or right. It's sort of like you take it with how you feel kind of thing. So it's a really unique kind of genre.
I feel like I'm
Um,
gonna be an ass saying this, but is it indubitably Canadian?
oh yeah, like
Okay.
there will be lots of references to probably like the big cities, so Toronto, Vancouver, a lot of those places, absolutely, because
Okay.
most people, depending on where you live, will either travel west or east, basically. That's kind of where that's the Canadian roots in our lives. Like you're never really, depending on where you are and how rural or urban you are, you end up in like a
Right.
big city center, at least for part of your life, somehow, some way. So a lot of the stories will take place like that, or it'll be very local to a specific area.
Mm.
Um, like I have a book here called From the Ashes by Jessie Thistle. It's a little bit of an autobiography, so not the same thing as Canadian literature.
Right.
However, it does reference. a lot of typical Canadian places and some of the issues for Indigenous people there. So like
Oh, okay, I see.
it's pretty Canadian in that sense.
And I think it's like I want to say like this. I'm taking this on whatever you're saying, right? And what I've experienced is like in the terms of like high school, maybe college's literature in terms of like American literature. Um, like I feel like there's like very selective places to write about. I get this. I could be. I'm taking this as like what I've been interpreting. Feel free to correct me. Like even though you guys have like limited places, you guys do have a lot of things to talk about more compared to like America, where it's like every single place has one particular thing to talk about. Where you guys can have like even if it's one place, there could be a lot of things to talk about in a sense.
Hmm. Yeah, like even in a city like Toronto, there's so many other like just outside cities, like outskirts and things like that too,
Mm-hmm.
that like, you know, if you're from that area, you'll know them. Like as soon as it's referenced somewhere, you'll be like, yeah, that's definitely Scarborough, or that's definitely like Kensington or whatever.
Right.
But for a lot of us that are outside of the city, we're like, we don't know about that kind of stuff. We haven't experienced like that in Mississauga and all these places. So like it's kind of a neat thing that like even though we know Toronto and area, we don't
Mm-hmm.
know Toronto and area. Which just makes it really unique. And each like neighborhood and things like that has their own sort of like, you know, shit going on that makes it kind
Right.
of unique. And I think you can say that for most of like all parts of Canada. We all have kind of like the same, oddly enough, like the same sort of shit going on, but very uniquely to that place and
Right.
that province and that government and outcomes and all that kind of stuff.
Right. I mean, not that you mention it, it probably is kind of similar to like sort of American literature, but it's like if you want, if I feel like if for those who I'm again basing this on my experience, I could be very well wrong. Um, I feel like they're like if there's like a certain set of problems, it's always usually within this area or this state or this set of states
Hmm.
versus of like yeah, it's just like you guys have it like more like toned down like to probably the local level, like something that can hit truly from home. I feel like even though it hits home in like America, it's only America, and America is pretty vast, to say the, to say
I
the
think
least.
like the problem with American literature versus Canadian literature. Oh God, I can't believe I'm going down this route in this truck and talk, but here we are.
I didn't expect it either for myself, but I kind of went for it.
I think American lit is pretty much your typical general American issues or problems or situations. Like it's pretty, depending on where you are, you could probably find and relate to the issues no matter what state you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's pretty like a general, like pretty stereotypical, almost like American kind of thing.
Right.
Whereas the Canadian literature, we will have like a series of novels from across the country and just the differences between every single place
Mm-hmm.
and the way it's been interpreted and written about, even if it's about the same city. Like, I remember reading in university like two stories from like Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and they're vastly different experiences
Mm.
from each other. So I think it makes it really unique and it kind of stands out a little bit as its own kind of thing. Like it could be either fiction, it could be nonfiction, it could be like any kind of genre, but it makes it uniquely Canadian
Right.
with the way that we interpret and like really personalize it or yeah,
Right.
that.
Yeah,
I
I
lost
could
the
definitely
words
see.
there in a moment, but yeah.
No worries. But now, like I like seeing those differences. I was like, it make I feel like you like it develops like a completely different yet powerful story. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure. So,
Yeah.
ooh, maybe podcast idea? No, for you. Who
Just
knows?
Canadian literature series. I'd have to do my own little research more on that because, like, again, it's
Right.
been since like university since I've dove into it quite a
Mm-hmm.
bit. But yeah, because I literally had to take a C-Lit course, which I never knew what C-Lit was. I was like, okay, let's just put a random letter in front of literature. But then I was like, oh, it's
I
Canadian
I
literature.
mean, I mean, how you said it verbatim. Think of it as one word, and there you go. Anyways, continue on.
You know, that is a story for later in the podcast.
I gotcha. I just heard it. I was like, I hate myself. I hate myself so much.
Oh, trust me, I remember this was back when I still had like my high school friends like around me,
Uh-huh.
and just like registering for courses, but like hanging out with them because it's like, oh guys, sorry, it's like 11, I need to register for a class. They're like, yeah, you do what you need to do, get that laptop out. And I'm like, sweet.
Right.
And then they're like, saw me enroll into like the CLET. They're like, how come you're taking a click course? And I'm like, what
No.
that that's not what that is. If you look at the tab that I'm underneath, it says English literature. And they're like, but Violet, it's I'm like, I know what it could spell if the letters were together, but
Oh no.
it really isn't what you think. They're like, you have to tell us about that class after. I'm like, guys, it's literally like stories and pieces of writing about Canada. They're like, yeah, Canada is. I'm like,
Oh
stop,
no. Why?
please
Oh,
no.
that's a bit awkward.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need to think of Canada actually having that, please. No, thank
Hmm.
you.
Hmm. I'll keep my mouth shut on that one. I'm not gonna go any further than where it should go.
uh, I was gonna make the thing like maybe America is Canada's that. I'm like, but then
I
like,
was going to say that, and I refrained from saying it. Thank God you said it.
but I want to make the point that like America rarely pleases us, so it can't be.
Oh shit! Oh man, I could have made that joke about 2 minutes ago. Then I was legit. I was like, am I gonna really say Canada's America's?
Yep. And then
That
I
that's a.
followed it up with like, but you guys rarely please us.
I mean, to be fair, again, at least you said it because I felt like I would definitely. I mean, you probably already have shaken your head ever since I thought of it again and made you think, like,
hmm
rethink of it again.
Well, as soon as you brought up like, huh, you put those words together, I'm like, this is where we're going. I can't stop it. I have to embrace it. Here we go. Plus the guy I was hanging out with on Tuesday, he's also very quickly to be dirty minded, so like
Oh,
my brain has been trapped a little bit.
oh no, the brain has been tainted. Someone get
I mean,
the holy
it's more
water.
of like, oh, holy water can't help me now at this point. Um,
Ooh,
hi. No, my brain's always been in the gutter. It just takes certain people to really bring that back out, and yeah.
he really did it for you.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Fun conversations. Anyway, is there anything else about your week you'd like to share? Because I have flustered.
My
After we
bad.
talked about Canada's.
Yeah. I guess the one other thing, I don't know if I actually talked about it in the podcast, but I know I definitely talked it with you. Um,
I like how we're
considering
calling this a podcast now. It makes me happy.
I've embraced it. I've embraced this to be basically a podcast because it's a talking show really. Um, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. Um, One cool thing, I'm gonna I'm gonna state this as I didn't say it during last week's episode. So, one cool thing is that my mom has got scheduled for COVID vaccine thingy.
Oh, yay.
Unfortunately, I have to say unfortunately because I told Dragon this on a private call last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It got delayed to this upcoming Sunday. It used to be for yesterday, but I guess something.
No, you didn't. You told me it was for Wednesday.
Yeah, and it was at
And
Wednesday.
now you're telling me that it's delayed. What?
Oh no, no, no! My mom told me like Tuesday that it got delayed till Sunday,
Okay.
and then yeah. So I have a feeling they may have not gotten their vaccines in time, so it got delayed till Sunday.
Um, Random Canadian vaccine news up in my part of the world. Alberta's finally, just finally, doing 75 plus.
Oh wow! Ye-
Yeah.
Finally getting
But
to it
when
in
they
some
finally
place.
opened the sites for appointments, it has crashed a total of 28 times in 24 hours, which is frustrating my gran because she needs to get on there and get that vaccine because she is 78, well,
Right.
soon to be 78. So
Well within the
it,
means.
it's really frustrating to try to help her with all the tech stuff when it's literally all out of our control. So
And that, like, a little rant here, but I mean, it makes sense because the technology is there, right? Just use it. But knowing what I learned when I used to work in the census at the IT department, where we have mostly middle aged and senior people working out on the field, is that technology is not really useful if you don't teach them. You can't just say, "Hey, go to this site and apply for it." It's not that easy, guys. If they haven't used
yeah,
a device in like a couple years to even a decade, oh god, someone help them out. And I'm pretty sure for those who won't be helping out their elderly, there are probably towns and towns away to help them out. And either that or busy doing other things. So,
ah,
great in plan, poor in execution in some ways, but you know.
yeah. My gran was just basically saying like, because she actually had a doctor's appointment recently, like with her, with like our huge like main family doctor for years,
Mm-hmm.
and she asked him like where like she might need to go to like sign up for this thing, and even her doctor didn't know where to send
Oh
her to
boy.
do this. So like the rollout of this has not been very smooth or effective or efficient, unfortunately, up on my part. And plus, guys, like if you are in America, you probably like are hearing me say 75 plus just gets the vaccines right now. Yeah, that's sad. It is sad, but that's
Right.
because Canada's been struggling to get vaccines in the first place.
Right. Right. I know. It's just like you would think that everyone will at least have an equal pace on sort of like getting vaccines and whatnot, but there's been disparities, quite a lot of disparities on
Yeah,
where vaccines are being distributed.
and it's getting a little more scarier too, because like we're starting to get we have pretty much all the different variants except for the California one, which oh my god, there's a California variant.
There's a California variant.
Yeah, I saw something about it briefly. I'm not one that actively looks at the news, guys. By the way, it just this personal like Canadian vaccine stuff happened because of my grants. Like I know it this way,
Right.
but I saw like a glimpse of an article like LA has like is trying to like keep one weird variant based in California that's different from the others, kind of contained as much as they can.
That's weird. Only
I
California would do
think,
such a thing. It's either that or
but like
Florida.
but like my province, we have all the variants present right now
Ooh.
in my province, and we're the second highest leading in variant cases. So like
Ooh.
things, I just like I'm kind of over it.
Right. I don't blame
Because it's
you.
just like the more I look into it, like when I start actively looking at this stuff,
Hmm.
I just kept like staring like what is wrong with these companies that are like, yeah, we got America down, we're good with this, and then we've got like all these other countries, and like, man, my roommates from the UK last year, like Tim and Helen,
Hmm.
they got their first dose already,
Oh wow.
in the UK, and I'm like, yet Canada, for some reason, these companies are like, oh, Canada can wait. It's not as big as the population. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. We'll balance it all out eventually. And it's like, why are we being treated differently? we're like,
Right.
we're babies in the world. We literally are. We're like a pabu country. Um, like, it's just it's really frustrating. And with the more news coming out about it, the more people are getting angry at the government. But at this point, I can't even be mad at the government because it's not 100% their fault.
Right.
All I though will say is I read somewhere that they are very slowly trying to approve other vaccines like the Johnson and Johnson one and
Mm-hmm.
the Astra whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't approved those two yet, despite those being rolled out in other countries. So, like, at one point, I'm like, okay, government, that's where you get to be blamed for a little bit. Your
Right.
slow kind of acceptance to
Bureau,
other.
some sort of bureaucracy, sort of kind of
Yeah.
shit in a way like that.
Yeah, so on one hand, I'm like, okay, Canada, come on. At this point, you got to approve what you got to approve. And,
Right.
like help.
Do what you need to do, and then we'll figure it out. And hopefully, like if they say there's no consequential side effects or anything like that, we can always improve later, right? Sort of deal.
Yeah. So it's just been like, oh, when I get into this, guys, I get into this, and I'm sorry to like randomly take this little like 15 minutes or
That's
like not
fine.
even 15 minutes, but it's just like I'm getting to a point where like finally, for once in my life, I'm very angry at like everything.
Right. That's understandable because like you need to voice out that sort of concern because it's like there's a difference between of like being ignorant and being slow, right?
Hmm.
Like we like something needs to go on rather than just like it's not really ignoring it. It's just really like it's like are they really taking their time on it and as to and like why sort of deal.
Hmm. And also like my anger also is like towards like the companies that we did get approved, like Pfizer, Moderna,
Mm-hmm.
like how dare you even like supply this hope to us, like the vaccine, like in a bottle doses and under dose? Like how how did that happen? Why is it happening to just us here in Canada? Like you're shorting our dosages. Each bottle should have 6 doses. That's enough for 3 people. Well, I
Right.
guess 6 people for their first shots, technically, right?
Right.
But in most of the bottles, they're only getting 4 to 5.
Ooh.
And yet Canada paid so much money to have the full thing. Um, yeah. So like it's just, it's such a hot mess up here, guys. I'm not gonna lie. That's why this is like the one time really in my life that I'm like, I wish I was either like American or British or like somewhere else in the world.
Where there's actually some sort of progress going on with it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh.
But it'll happen when it happens. Some blah blah blah.
Right. Oh. Yeah. And it's weird. It's kind of weird, like that we sometimes do talk about like current events from time to time, right? On Chuck and Talk. Like I'm hoping we can reflect on this and just hear like all the differences we've experienced throughout the years and sort of deal.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
it's like it's always interesting to hear. Because again, it's unique everywhere. Like I'm American, she's
Yeah.
Canadian. She used to live in the UK as well. Like so, hearing any sort of like current events in a different area, it feels oddly kind of nice, but also kind of like disjointing because it's like, yeah, it's current events. It can be very debatable. Like
Yeah.
it's very like to some sense opinionated, but only because you voice out your concerns and all that stuff, which is valid. Um,
Yeah, like I'm not saying like all of America is
mhm.
phenomenal at this right now because
Right, right.
I can feel for like maybe potentially like the smaller states who may not have the same access as like the bigger states or like
Mm-hmm.
states with bigger cities because priority goes where priority goes.
Right.
So don't get me wrong, like I know it's not perfect everywhere, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
the fact that like when you start hearing stats that like over 1 million people a day in America are like getting the vaccine, you're just in there going, if I was in Canada, it would literally take us only like 34 days to have everyone have the
Right.
first dose. If you really think about that in that like one little stat, you're like, fuck, right? And then if you think about that, double it, 68 days, we'd all be
Be
vaccinated,
vaccinated. There you go. Right. It's like it will only
right?
take 2 months to get Canada fully vaccinated. Compared,
If we were
if you
on
have that,
pace, like if
yeah.
we were on the same pace as America, if you think about
Right.
that, then it's like, huh, you know?
Right.
Um, because at this rate, I think even like you're on track to get the vaccine faster than I am, and you're not working. Like that is where you're headed towards.
I
And
see.
that for me is where it's like, man, Canada, come on, like pull up your sleeves a little bit and start fighting these companies
Right.
because yeah,
You guys got to
that's
get going. Get
I
everyone
hate
united.
being self-aware. Like
Oh.
help because like as soon as I get into like one little tangent on it, it's just like
You just want to just go all out on it. What that again? Understandable, because it's like it's such a it should be equal for everyone to get their dosage in time and whatnot. But hearing how there's bureaucracy this, drama that, whatever, right? Sort of deal. It's so unneeded. It really is. So, but anyways, my bad for kind of bringing that whole thing down to the ground in some ways. um, I guess how have you been, Dragon?
Oh, like, is that really all about your week? You wanna, like,
Um,
you covered it?
for the most part, yeah. As I said, I'm gonna be working on the video a little bit more this coming week, towards next week. Hopefully, I'll have it uploaded by Friday, right by next Friday. That. I guess also birthday in 2 weeks. Yay! I realized that we're almost close to March. Holy shit! Like in next week, it's March.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which, oh crap, March. That's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, me, my week. Well,
Ooh, I'm gonna have
I'm
to
gonna
do
do a
this real quick.
comparison. Oh, what? Oh, right. He has to do a muty thingy because he's got the parentals in the room. So I will not do the wiki thingy, until he's unmuted. Dun dun dun. Also, my computer's taking a dump. Let me open Stream back. Come on, Twitch, you got this. I believe in you. No, no volume. No, no, no. I do not need to hear myself speak.
All right, so I muted myself, but I didn't mute you. See, we all heard everything of what were you trying to do. Hi, anyway, sorry. Hi.
I assumed and I was rolling with it.
Nice. Apparently, my dad has re-complimented on the lights that is running on the background right now. Yeah, I do have it now up there, so everything looks very nice and trippy with
Yeah?
my crazy hair.
Oh, you're fine.
My fuzz.
Your
Fluzz?
flaws.
Floofy fuzz, apparently. Fluzz.
Yep. My week. So I'm gonna do a little comparison from last week to this week, just to begin with,
Okay.
because last week I was starting to feel like pretty overwhelmed with everything that was going on, with like how I want to like set up with like out school and really pick that up and
Mm-hmm.
like get going with it. And Toastmasters has been very, very heavy, as I kind of went into a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Um, then there's like work going on, and like my manager the last couple weeks leading up to like this week, basically, he's been a douche canoe. Uh,
Douche
and
canoe. Anyways.
and then like when I say I hate being self-aware, I do, because like you become more aware of everything going on and you just get cranky.
Aww.
So basically last week, because like last week for Toastmasters, I didn't have a lot to prepare for. I was just table topics master.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to come up with random like prompts of questions just to ask the people. So it wasn't a lot of proper memorization. Uh, so it wasn't too bad. So then like I basically had a very lazy week in regards to like everything.
Right.
And I managed, I think I went back and counted, and I watched like something like 28 episodes of Grey's.
Grey's Anatomy, for just those who are wondering.
Yes. Yeah, Grey's Anatomy. And I'm like, oof. So then, what was nice though is that over the weekend, like last weekend,
Uh-huh.
I taught the classes, and
Ooh.
I had like the 3 students on the one day, and then 2 students, or 3 students in the one class, 2 students in the other class.
Mm-hmm.
So like that felt really good, and like 3 of them gave me 5 out of 5 star reviews. So like that
Oh,
really
no
started to
way.
pick, yeah, that started to pick me right back up to kind of like, oh, I am a good human being. I'm not trash. I I'm inspired these kids to play
Aw.
D&D. Like that's a big thing. Like you can do this week. Come on, let's get back to work kind of
Bless your
thing.
heart and soul, honestly.
Yeah.
Everyone give Dragon some hugs. I need to have a
Yeah.
spam hug sort of emote now and think about it.
That would be nice. Yeah, so then finally, like, after, like, the weekend of teaching and, like, Toastmasters
Mm-hmm.
and, like, being just around people again in that way was, like, oh, right. Like, despite the drama that I had the week before and, like,
Mm-hmm.
things going downhill and bleh, I
Oh,
ended up like really picking myself back up this week and going, all right, we're taking it day by day and let's go, sort of thing.
be like back up to productive to be productive and whatnot, sort of deal.
Yes, and now I've been overproductive in many ways, but it's fine.
Oh.
So yeah, Monday basically back to like my regular work shit and did the 8 hour shift, and then I had to rush home because then we like suddenly had a D&D session. So then I played D&D,
Ooh.
and then we ended early enough because we play with a person from the UK. So I get that, yo, I used to do the same thing. So, but then it was nice because we ended up early enough that I ended up having dinner and jumping in, and I held my first ever like session zero for a campaign with another group.
Ooh. Nice.
And so that was a lot of fun because I really didn't know how to do session zero. I basically was just asking my players questions about their characters, how they want plan on like meeting. Do they want to just kind of all end up in the city at the same time, kind of thing? And then
Ooh.
they like, and how to connect them together when they're in the city. Are a couple of them gonna travel together? Blah blah blah. So I got that all sorted and situated. And
Nice.
then I asked them like, so when you get to the city, how do you want to hear about the quest kind of thing. And so they're like, oh, we could do word of mouth, or my character would probably just walk into a pub and be like, yo, tell me where this at. I'm like, all right, cool, great. That's totally fine with me. So I was just kind of like doing that, making notes. And then the next thing I did was ask them about like gods that any of their characters worshipped, like gods or goddesses or
Okay.
like deities, because if I can like really research those and try to incorporate it into these like quests or into the game somehow, and or even like try to remember what they do so that way if the character aligns really well with their god then I can reward them for it. But if they
Ooh.
start to go off the trail from their god then I will obviously have to punish them somehow. So like I got all into that pretty heavily, and then I described the setting for them again. Like, this is Hupperdook, and like this is the kind of population. This is the town it is, and really got into all of that. So it was a lot of fun, and it was really great.
That's quite. That was like quite like the pre. What is it? I just had it like the pre-meeting sort of deal of like just planning it all out and see how that.
Session zero.
Ah.
So yeah, you come in, you get it like all planned out, and then I was able to write my opening description
Mm-hmm.
basically while they were. We got to the point where they're like, "Do you have any questions for our characters again?" I'm like, "No, no, no. You guys can talk about whatever while I'm just kind of working." They're like, "Cool," and then they went on to like animes from like the 80s, 90s, and like early 2000s, and
Oh
went
my
down a
god.
huge list of all that. And I was like giggling because I was like, "Yeah, I remember that." Like at Sailor Moon. Oh yeah.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, so it's quite funny listening to them. But I wrote my opening description to start off the actual campaign officially, not this week, but the following week, because I told them
Ooh.
I was really smart by this. You should be proud of me. Normally, I just push through and be like, yeah, we'll do it every week. Hell yeah. But with how crazy things are, I'm doing it every 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, nice.
So, like every second Monday, just to give me that chance to kind of really schedule in time to prep for
Mm-hmm.
it.
Give yourself like some time to pace if like say because I know for those who've tuned in the last time I had Dragyn, you heard that she had a pretty busy February. Pretty sure you're gonna have a kind of pretty busy March. So, um,
I'll
like,
get
cause
there. I will explain.
yes,
um,
that's a good way to pace, especially if you have like something that might come up unexpected on one week that you may not be able to join. At least you have extra time to pace yourself, plan it out as you said, and all that thing.
Yeah, and my players were happy to hear it too because our other DM
Mm-hmm.
basically just disappeared on us and like couldn't
Oh.
agree to do something like once a month or anything like that. She was just gone. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I kind of took up the DM hat and was like, I'll do it. But what they told me is like, as long as it's consistent, like every 2 weeks, man, it's D&D will be there. It will be consistent. It's gonna be better than what we've been having. So I'm like,
Aw,
okay.
that's good to hear.
All right. And so now I get to, like, they're really excited. Now they have a whole week to kind of plan out an extra week, right? To plan out
Right.
their characters, ask any questions they want. We also have like a like an in character roleplay channel.
Oh, oh, that sounds interesting.
So then I can always like tease them with little like things there and prompts there just to kind of get them practicing a bit more. So
Right.
yeah, I was thinking of doing all that and with them while I'm planning on the sides of my tiny little secret DM journal. Um, yeah, so that's kind of a nice little project. Plus, another reason why I decided to DM is because if I'm doing all these out school DM or like D&D classes,
Mm-hmm.
it might be a nice idea to really get into like the mechanics of the game again and really be like, oh yeah, did I tell them about this kind of like saving throw business? That might be something important to bring up.
Ooh, so it's like kind of like a relearning lesson in some ways for you,
Yeah,
and
and
be ready
plus
to
like I
teach them.
do yeah, plus I do want to start offering other D&D classes like when I move in with my sister, which get back to that later.
Ooh,
But yeah, because I want to open like a like how to DM and like how to homebrew content classes, and then going into like advanced character making. So
mm-hmm.
that's like when you make a higher level character, you can multi-class that kind of stuff.
I see.
Um, yeah, and then eventually run a campaign throughout schools. That would be really fun.
That'd be. I want to hear how that. I want to see how you will be able to plan that out because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to really think about it because I know I want to do like definitely like D&D like proper sessions, but I also want to find ways to connect it to something else, like their lives and like things like that. So there might have to be
Right.
like a reflection piece to it. Like since you've been playing D&D with me now for like a month, what have you noticed in your life, kind of thing. Like what have you been able to do more of? Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta try to kind of find ways to connect it because like I don't want them just to play it. There has to be like a more of a intrinsic sort of motivation for it.
Right.
Like for me, I'm playing D&D because I will not only love the game and love high fantasy worlds and things like that because that's who I am, but I'm also doing it to like work on finding my voice, work on like the story development and being more creative and having that outlet for creativity that I don't
Right.
really have elsewhere. So yeah, I want them to all have like their reasons as to why they want to do it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
That'd be. It's like you're having fun again, playing D&D, and maybe learning a life lesson or two about yourself.
yeah,
Sort of deal,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. I've got plans around school that I'm definitely going to be working on more when I get to my sister's place. So
Ooh, hi.
yeah, yes, I'll get into that because that was basically Monday for you guys. We're only on Monday. Buckle down, guys. You buckle down. Tuesday. So I've been doing Toastmasters actually twice a week technically now
Ooh.
for like last week and this week. So on Tuesdays at 8 a.m., yes, on my days off, guys, I'm getting up at 6:30 to get changed and dressed up and have a coffee to do a Toastmasters meeting at 8 a.m.
Oh.
Dedicated. But I figured that I really liked it, like the first one I went to kind of do an evaluation to work on my levels and such.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked being there and being with the small little group. So I'm like, I'll come back if I can. And luckily, the last couple weeks, few weeks, knock on wood, I've had Tuesdays off.
Nice.
So I've
Oh,
been
you're
able
coming again.
to. Oh, well, chat, this is awkward. But welcome to Late Night with Dragon while we are waiting for Spam to come back. Buckle in, cozy in a blanket, become a blanket burrito. That's my favorite move. Blanket burrito. It's also fun to put your cat in a blanket burrito because they struggle to get out. And that sounds really bad out of context, but like my kitty's funny because she likes to play in the blanket anyway. So when I wrap her up in the blanket, she likes the challenge to escape. So,
Hi, I'm back.
and
Do you
you're
have?
back, yeah.
Did you have a fun time talking to the the ether of chat and whatnot to the other people
Yeah,
as I went muted?
I mean, you're welcome for YouTube because that's what I'm doing right now. It's like, oh, I gotta
Right.
fill in the silence because this is going on YouTube.
Thanks. You're an amazing
You're
guest
welcome.
doing that.
Yay. Right. So like Tuesday. So like yeah, early morning Toastmasters meeting, and
Mm-hmm.
last week I had to do, or yeah, last week I had to do it because I had to do an evaluation to complete a level, so that was like the only reason why I joined it. But then I really liked it, so I came back this week and I gave um, the speech I'm doing on Saturday. I was like, I need a practice run. I'll do it with them because they will give me feedback, like really constructive
Right.
feedback. And I did it, and I love it because Austin is part of it. He's my contestant, basically. Like we're competing,
Ooh.
and he's so funny because when I was giving my speech, he just was like messaging me, going, oh, "Nice technique to like lean into the camera. I never thought of doing that," and like all these things. And then at the end, he's like, "You scare me so much for March like
Oh
6th," and I was like,
no.
no, 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 no. I don't want to be intimidating. You're scary.
Uh
Your speech is amazing. Because I've heard his now like 2 weeks in a row.
huh.
And I like your speech and your content. It's so good though. And he's like, but you do it all. I'm like, no, no, no. We're both great. Let's leave it at that.
Aww.
Yeah. So it was funny. It was nice, and I got some good feedback with it. And yeah, now it's just like memorizing it, which is
Mhm.
again a big part of my week has been sitting here going, okay, 5 times a day, I'm going to recite the speech over and over and over again until I get it. And then, haha, today is very clever, girl, because I have an iPhone. I don't know why I have to really announce this to the world, but you can record
She
voice
has an
memos.
iPhone, guys. Ooh.
Nice. So I decided to record my speeches today when I got home from work. Voice memos. Like my speech is a voice memo, so when I'm walking to and from work, I can listen to them and memorize them further.
Ooh. That's a neat way to learn to memorize your speech.
So I think it'll be really nice because tomorrow I work 8 hours, so it's not a lot of time for me to sit down and practice it.
Right.
So like I think the memos and like listening to it will be good.
That'll be a way. And if you don't mind me asking, because I know you kind of posted your speeches out there on your latest podcast episode, which speech was it that you're trying to
The
memorize?
the second last one in the episode.
So that would be your mentoring one, your mentor
Yes.
one. Ooh.
Because this mentoring one will be my last big project for level 2. And that
Ooh.
will be done for my Toastmasters.
Hype, hype, hype. And then
Mm-hmm,
after that, you're
mm-hmm.
gonna be memorizing your very last speech, which is your contest speech.
Yeah, which is really, really good, which I'll get to. Because it was so funny after that meeting. So the meeting was only an hour, like 8 to 9 a.m. But
Mm-hmm.
then I stayed into the Zoom call with Austin and Carmen. Carmen is an angel. I just like she's so full of optimism and like joy, and she's so passionate and loudly passionate too. It was
Oh,
so
that's good to hear.
amazing to like hear her and Austin talk about an app she's developing, which it's
Whoa.
such a good app. It's basically like a help service,
Mm-hmm.
basically, but like used in a way that really is secretive and hidden. So like for like domestic abuse situations or like any kind of dangerous situations where you don't want to be seen using it, basically.
Oh, interesting.
She's got different modes, like I Need a Hero kind of a mode, which is really great because that song is fantastic. And then like she's got other different modes that you can use. And what's cool is that like all of it, you know how on your iPhone like it has a pretty black dark screen right before you activate it?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the mode you click on, that will happen, but it's still going to be like live streaming, recording the audio, everything of what's going on around you, while also
Ooh.
sending your location to different services.
Ooh, interesting. That's gonna be very
Yeah,
helpful. That's actually really helpful for
right? Like even
those in a
like,
pickle.
and I was gonna like reach out to her, but I haven't because this week has been crazy. I want to reach out to her because I'm saying like she could probably also advertise her app in different, like not just only for domestic abuse like situations, but also for any situations where it's really hard to get services to people.
Right.
Like when it comes to like schools, guys, my city alone, most of the high schools up here have over 2,000 kids in their school with like 100 or so staff. Like there is staff, but our, as teachers, we're teaching over 100 kids, and like usually in a semester or a term.
Right.
It is so hard to be that one-on-one support for 100 students.
I bet.
I was thinking of reaching out to her and thinking about like if there was a way to maybe even put in like a mode for student use, or like even have like that kind of thing where students can use it, and then it'll alert like the principal or like whoever's the emergency responded in the school as well as outside services.
Ooh, so it's like if there's like a thing going on, like say a bully, or let alone be an
Like a
essay.
fight, like it could
Yeah.
be for anything, like a fight at
Right.
school, a mental health right crisis, like all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
want to reach out to her about that because I think that would be another way to kind of cater it and have it more widespread, like advertised, I
That
guess,
would
and
be
used in
very
different ways.
beneficial school tech, especially if that could
Yeah,
be like publicized out there.
because being a teacher, you know things going on, like you can't always help, and it just
Right.
like that's the thing that always kills me. You can't be a hero to everyone, but this app could, Like, I think it's a phenomenal idea. Anyway, um, she really inspired me, as you guys can tell. And so while they were talking, I wrote my contest speech
Ooh.
because
Wow.
I was quite like I had wrote an intro to it forever ago.
Right.
But then I kept getting stuck on like how do I continue? But as like hearing Carmen talk, I was like, ooh, ideas, and then I just like wrote it all like during that entire thing.
Like she got something going. Ooh, I could think of something. That's really cool. Getting
Yeah,
that
so that
motivation
was
from just hearing someone else speak out of whatever, really, in some sense.
yeah, like yeah, her like optimism was very infectious. So like it just really led to like a very productive call for me, even though I was super silent and didn't say anything while they were talking. But
Aw.
I was still listening and reacting, of course, because like it was really cool to hear that I think.
Right.
So I wrote my contest speech right in that moment during that. Then I took a break for like,
Oh shit.
food and damn it, Daryl, please. Oh, and that one hit was 7% damage.
Right.
Ouch.
I'd be like, it's like I thought this was a 2 lane road, so I thought I was like, ooh, I have enough wide space to turn. It's a 2 lane road, one way lane in each direction. Oops.
Even though if you're not a pedestrian, you're still in a truck, you should look both ways before making a turn or crossing the intersection.
I thought I had it right. I lied.
Yeah, so that was productive in that way, writing my contest speech,
Oh, that's
which
amazing.
he's listened to my episode, so I don't know his feedback on it yet, but I will ask him when I get to it. Um, I am really proud of it. I feel really good about it. I don't know.
it.
I also have doubts because like I've never really said it out loud to anyone yet, just in the podcast. So
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like a, like for those who watch the podcast, it really is just a sneak peek or it's a first peek sort of deal.
yeah, like a first draft, first iteration of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of know my words on it because it's like I found it like to be I think one of your most deepest speeches.
Like out of all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it's like I'm gonna go like a little bit of like gonna tangent with like the other two speeches for your level two. So that would have been um
My
your personal
communication
your
styles.
communications analysis like and the whole thing, and your mentor. That was very like informative sort of deal, like really saying things. But I think where you really hit the nail was definitely your contest speech. That's very deep.
Yeah.
Like it's like I would say I got pulled in and I was like, and I'm just like, oh, I feel like I really did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like even thinking about it, I'm like already emotional again because it just it comes from a place that's still like it's still something I'm working on too in my life. Like it's nothing I haven't solved or like become a master in. I wrote about something pretty vulnerable in a way.
Right.
So it's pretty deep. But yeah, and this is actually a great transition because like on that Tuesday I recorded my podcast. So I recorded the podcast for today on Tuesday. And so I left that like recorded the podcast just again, I already kind of said at the beginning, just like it felt so good to say all of it out loud again and just to kind of
Aw.
hear it. And so like I was just so happy and proud. And then for those that want to know anything about my social life, you're welcome. But also, if you don't want to hear it, you're not welcome. I don't care. But I got to go on a date.
That I think when you told me, I kind of didn't expect it in a sense.
Me either. Like, I didn't expect to say yes to anything ever, but it happened.
It happened. I was just like, wait, hold on a second. That was like on a whim, and I'm just hearing this about now. What? Whoa, what?
Yeah, because like when I remind you about things, Daryl, we don't check in with each other very well. So, or like I
That's
check
true.
in with you and you never ask back.
Yeah. I think I remember reading about it. I'm like, oh, oh,
And by the
oh.
way, it was very much on a whim because, like, he texted and he's like, "Hey, I thought like last week we were supposed to hang out on Tuesday. Are you free this week, this Tuesday, today?" And I'm like, "I am. I just finished up all the things I needed to do today." And he's like, "Great, I'll pick you up in an hour. Let's go drive around for a couple hours or so." I was like, "Sweet." Lo and behold, it was a 5 hour, a 5 hour hangout.
Ooh, ooh, dang.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We talked a lot, just about like different parts of our lives a little bit, family a little bit, lots of D&D, as you can imagine, and then just about like past like relationships and experiences we have and like those kinds of things. And he learned very quickly that I'm naive in everything.
Aw.
But I think it was nice. Stop crashing!
Shh. It's not nothing.
Fuck! I see all the damage caused.
Anyways.
um yeah, but then it got to the point where he's like, like this is kind of refreshing actually to like meet someone like you who just needs a little bit of a hand holding to walk through this with. So I'm like,
Aw.
oh, yay. So it's really good. We ended up like driving around the south end of my city for a while. Ended up at the Southgate parking lot, which there was a lot of drama in the parking lot.
Ooh.
We had cops parked beside us because we were pretty far back, like kind of towards the back area of the parking lot.
Right.
Cops parked up beside us, and then they kept going up to this one car and made two different arrests. Then
Um.
pulled around, got their statements or something, pulled around, and then came back and parked beside us again and waited for another vehicle and made more arrests and got statements. And eventually, before we went into the mall for food, they released them.
Um.
Yeah, it
What?
was entertaining. Mall security kept coming out over and over again, like right in front of our vehicle, watching everything and kind of getting information when he could. And then I remember the one cop coming out and like, "You need to get out of here because you're gonna ruin this." And I was like, "Oh,
We just
okay."
want some peaceful time here. You don't have to say that to us. Sorry,
Well, I
continue.
think the plan, like, my date drove a big van, so like they're easily to hide behind us, kind of thing.
Ah.
So they didn't want to be seen. So the mall security guy walking out with his walkie-talkie and things like that was very evident that something was happening. Um, so I remember the one cop going, "You need to get out of here, or like go hide behind another vehicle, like go somewhere else." It was entertaining
that
for us both.
that's quite that's quite the incident that you guys experienced.
Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, we walked around all of the mall. Not the big mall,
Right.
Southgate, smaller one. And then got food and chatted and more and more and more. Then we went for another drive. Ended up on one of the back roads over here because like my part of the city's still developing.
Right.
So I ended up on one of the back roads and we parked into like one of those like small little like farm entrances kind of thing, or
Ooh.
like to a field. And we chatted more and we ended up playing Truth or Dare.
Uh-oh.
No, nothing bad. I was a chicken shit and never chose dare really, except for like once, and it wasn't a bad dare. It's just like, "I dare you to kiss me," and I'm like, okay.
Aw.
So it wasn't too bad, but a lot of truths and a lot of like honesty things. And then it was nice because like when he dropped me back off, he was like, "Okay, so like I need to ask a lot of questions before I let you go, and I hope you don't mind. But it's just like setting boundaries, basically. Like, how far do you want to go on any given date? Do you want to hang out again? And what kind of hangout do you want? And like,
Oh.
so it was really sweet, actually, and refreshing to have that.
Oh.
So I'm hoping that like life slows down a little bit so I can hang out with him more. Yeah.
Oh, I bet. He sounds like an amazing guy to talk to.
Yes.
Even with the
Uh,
weird awkward encounter with things. But that's outside of the realm of about him.
I will talk to you more about all of that freaking in a private call, dum dum.
Okay. Gotcha. Understandable,
Don't.
actually.
Yeah, but it was funny because like during that, I had text from my sister with more details about moving in with her
Oh, wow.
that I couldn't like really read or process it until I got home. So then I
Dang.
yeah, so then I called her that night, and it was probably a bad idea because I was exhausted. One, second, or like first of all, I was exhausted just because like I was out in social for like 5 hours with someone, which I've never done since like the UK. So
Right.
my God. And then I got home and like all the information, and I was like, yeah, you know, I can think I can budget it. But then like it got so overwhelming, not only because of everything she was saying and like the plan for it, it was also because like I was already starting to overanalyze the date as well.
Oh. Oh no.
So then I ended up like crying. And I'm like,
Oh no.
I know this is good news. Like 2 weeks, I'm gonna be moving in with you around like March 12th or 14th. Like it's gonna be so
Hi.
good and amazing. But at the same time, I'm like, Tabby, I'm freaking out, and this is stressful, and I have to worry about security deposits and rent and like groceries and budgeting and
Ah.
all. Yeah,
Ah. Oh. But hi. Holy shit. I'm just like gonna say, dang, your Tuesday was jam packed for just being a day off.
I want to point out that like my day started at 6:30 a.m. and I didn't go to bed till 9
Oh
p.m., which was a
shit.
yeah, which was a
Oh,
long, long day. Like,
damn.
yeah, so a lot of good things. So I unfortunately like had to tell her, I'm like, I have to hang up right now because I'm feeling overwhelmed and I'm overanalyzing the date and I just need to go to sleep. And she's like, what time is it? I'm like, it's like 9 and I work at like 6 and like it's an 8 hour shift tomorrow. She's like, yeah, go to sleep.
Oh.
We'll worry about this more tomorrow. But the one thing she wanted me to ask about was like work and seeing if I can, because like we looked at busing and such too, and
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be able to get there for my 6 a.m. shifts.
Right.
Which, by the way, guys, I work 6 a.m. shifts. Um,
Dang.
so then I talked to my new manager, which, oh, I haven't even said this yet. Oh my god, so much has happened, guys.
Really, it has. I'm like hearing this now. It's like, dang, you got a whole lot of plate.
And we're only on Tuesday, so like, hell, um, yeah, it's been a week. But anyway, so like I had to talk. So I told her I talked to my new manager about like things and see if like I can keep the 28 hours a week, and then that way I know I'll be financially okay.
Right.
Or if I have to change the availability, if I can get a max of 24, because then that like will be the bare minimum.
Right.
But then I can also like with that extra day off, basically, is what it'll lead to more out school, more teaching, and more opportunities that way. So that's why I was
Ooh.
leading into out school, telling you that I want to do more D&D classes because I'll have the opportunity to do it. Um, and yeah, my new manager was so sweet. She's so sweet. I love her. Let me get into this story now. Let's backtrack a little bit. New manager. Um, hi guys. We're like going
Welcome
backwards
back.
and forwards with this story. It's fine. Um, on my last shift last week on Friday, my other manager came down and told us that he has been promoted to the grocery manager position in
Ooh.
the store. And he immediately took it because he does want to become a store manager full on one day. And the road to do that is you have to be a grocery manager first, then an assistant store manager, and then store manager. So
Oh
that's kind of
God.
where that's his path. And I'm like, I mean,
You do you.
I guess like we need managers in places like this, so you do you, right?
Yeah.
But then he got me really excited because he told all of us on Friday that Daniela would be our new manager, and she is the sweetest being and the hardest worker, like in our crew.
Oh.
I'm so happy for her, like, cause she had a really crappy situation in the health and beauty department that she was in, where like when we got our new store manager and our new assistant managers, and then that department got a new manager brought in,
Mm-hmm.
and she was a supervisor at that point. That new manager basically tore her apart for everything that she had established.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
And she basically was like, I need out. I need to transfer out of this department. Where can I go? And they brought her to us in PC Express, which I'm so glad they did. And now she's a manager. So, oh my gosh. So, we're still going to see the other guy around the store, which is fine because, like, he barely talked to me anyway when he was my manager. So, like,
Right.
this is fun. I can just ignore him even easier
It's
now.
like he's not my department anymore. He can go
Yeah,
F off.
he literally can't tell me what to do right now.
Ooh, damn. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
um, yes, it is Thursday. Yeah, welcome
Oh,
to
I know,
Thursday.
right? Hi, Izzy. Yeah, it's Thursday already. Doesn't feel like it.
I feel like it should be Saturday right now. Like that's how busy my
Same.
week has been. Like, gosh.
It felt like
But
a
anyway,
Saturday too. Yeah.
it did feel like Saturday. It doesn't help that my little brother has a long weekend right now, so like he's home.
Oh
And
shit.
so when I got home at work, I was like, oh, what? Oh, right.
You are
um,
here. Dang it, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
yeah. So anyway, yes, we have a new manager. Really great. I talked to her about the whole like 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. thing, and if I can
Mm-hmm.
keep the 28 hours. And she's like, honestly, Violet, if I was like a more senior manager, I would totally say yes and just like write on a sticky note, like in my agenda, and like have that totally
Right.
like set up. But unfortunately, everything I decide and do has to be looked at by upper management. So she had to go to this guy, like to, I shouldn't say names really, but I'll say it, like Chris. So
Right.
Daryl knows Chris and my beef with him.
Right.
And he said no, she needs to officially change her availability on Flip, and she goes down to restricted hours, which means 24 hours a week. Despite the 1 hour change, I could literally work any other shift,
Right.
like closing, overnight, daytime, whatever. But no. And so she's like, I'm really sorry, but like, if I need to call in someone at any time, like, you're gonna be in like my top 5 people that I call. So then that way I can get you like the 28 hours potentially if I need
Ooh.
people. So she was being really nice and super supportive that way, which I really appreciated it. So
It'd be an interesting compromise, but at least she's willing to do it. That's amazing.
yeah. And she helped me like find all the
Poor
store
Sarah.
numbers so that I could have them all on my phone because every time I get a new phone number on my phone, I'm like, I think that's work, but I don't know. So I don't want to answer it, but I should answer it, but I don't know. And so she finally looked at my phone and all the calls. She's like, yeah, that was me. That was me. That might have been we, Sam. Okay, let's get your phone sorted. I was like,
Aww.
thanks.
If it were Saturday, I would be setting up the alert right now. Oh yeah, you would be doing that on Saturday. Forgot about that. For your
Well,
5 year.
fun.
Cool. Oh, 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 shit. I almost eat that turn. Anyways.
So yeah, that's basically that. So like, yeah, I really do need to figure out budgeting and like what I need to do for classes for out school just to make up the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it is doable because if you think about it, each of my classes will be about $12 US per student. Also, take your time.
No worries. Take your time,
Ikara.
Izzy.
Ikara. Sorry, I'm good. I had to get that one
You
out of
had
me.
to.
Anyway, so I was trying to figure it out, but I'm thinking about it like $12 per student, and I can have 6 students in my class basically.
All
So
right.
6 times 12 is math 72. No,
Is math. Is
it's
72.
it is 72. So
Yeah.
that's 72 US. They take 30% from that, like the
Right.
company at school. But then like that's also US. So do the US Canadian version to that.
What is it? Like times 1 point or times 1.4, I think, or 1.2.
Something like that. So that's like still like a decent amount.
Yeah.
If I can get like 10 students a week, man, like that would be great because then that really definitely kind of make up that difference. Like absolutely, like it's doable. I just have to make sure I get the classes organized, open more sections, and post my 2 new classes.
Ooh. I. And then
So I've
that
got
would.
a plan for it. I just gotta wait till like I see what my actual work schedule will be with the new
Mm-hmm.
adjusted hours and such. Um, and then I can get like things scheduled and good to go and opened and prepared and blah blah blah. So
Right.
my week also with that news on Tuesday with my sister and on Wednesday when I talk to my boss means that I'm gonna be doing more like out school prep this week too. So I'm also working on like getting those new classes like written and describe like the descriptions down. So
Dang.
that way when I'm at my sister's place, I can immediately just type it all out, publish it, and go.
And like have it all ready for them to just go for it. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, so there's that. So like I'm worried, right? Because like less income's never fun.
Right.
But I think I've got a pretty decent plan to really kind of supplement it the best I can.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do my best, and
You can do
there's
it.
gonna be there's gonna be some cuts to some things which I'm not happy about. So like already my subscriptions to everything is like canceled,
Oh.
um, and I think I'm gonna have to talk to my therapist and make the decision to go to like once a month instead of twice a month,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing, or something like that. And I'm gonna have to talk to my new manager because I think she's really helpful and understanding. Because I mean, if she could help me with the hours like the way she did, like how she handled it,
Right.
I think she might be able to help me with union stuff. And then if I can get those benefits, then maybe I can do the therapy thing. Who
Ooh.
knows? It just depends if she takes it, like the
Right.
benefits from my work. We'll have to figure that all out. But
Ooh.
some things are gonna have to give, and I may have to go on the uh, it's called RAP here in Alberta, so that's basically like your repayment forgiveness kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing, and do that for 6 months just to kind of like wait and see how OutSchool does, blah blah blah, before I jump back into student loan payment again.
Ah, I see. So just like have like a temporary pause just so you can recuperate somewhere in some ways.
Yeah, plus I want to point out this is the first time I'm living quote unquote on my own where I have to buy groceries and actually do things like this again since the UK.
Since the UK. Wow, that's like yeah, that's coming up a
Almost a
year.
year.
Oh my god.
It'll literally be like a year
When you move out.
come when I move. Yeah.
Dang, look at that.
Look at that. I've also moved one, two, three times in a year.
Oh shit.
And add the two more moves from the UK. Yeah, I've moved like five, 6 times in like
In
3 years.
3 years.
Three
There we
years.
go. I can math. That's like I realized how far you're going back. It's like, oh yeah. Oh shit. Damn.
I'm basically living my life in suitcases right now, but that's the way it is. Um,
She busy woman. Don't know why I said it
yeah,
like that.
and I'm not even done talking about Wednesday yet,
You're
so we
not.
are in for a treat. So yeah, work. I kind of got that all worked out, and I think everything's gonna be fine. My sister and I are just waiting for some information now from an old roommate of hers because her room is the one I'm taking, but she still has some furniture there.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants to find out from her if she's going to keep the furniture there or how long she will keep it there for. So then I can figure out what I do with my bed and such before I get there. Like,
Right.
if I'm going to give this, like, let Liam have this bed and he can have my room and things like that, my little brother.
Right.
Or like we can find storage somewhere and like figure all that out. So we're waiting
Mm-hmm.
on that information and then we can decide a move-in date, and then I get to reach out to my uncle and ask him what date he prefers because I might have to borrow his big truck to help me move things.
Ooh, hype.
And yeah, so we had all that to kind of figure out still, but it looks like it'll be March 12th or 14th.
Ooh, damn, moving on my birthday.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and we were saying like maybe anywhere between 12th and 15th, but I'm like, I kind of don't want to do Saturdays because of Toastmasters. I'm kind of dedicated to that.
Right. You just want to keep that date open, especially of what you're planning to do with Toastmasters. Oh, it's high.
Well,
I understand.
13th is technically like a regular club meeting week, so I could potentially miss it and like give myself a break. But at the same time, I don't want to because I love them.
You're having a fun time with them. Honestly, they're amazing people.
Oh yeah, like phenomenal groups. So yeah. Anyway, work ended. Figured that all out with my sister on Wednesday, basically, and then I met with Austin from Toastmasters, which I'm going to talk about Austin a lot, by the way, because he's like the biggest, like one of my biggest supporters in this group, which is just so he's so
Aww.
sweet. We had a meeting at 5:30, that night, because he wanted to help each other brainstorm our speeches and to also talk a lot about Toastmasters and where we see ourselves going down the
Ooh.
pathways. And we just had like a really big kind of like, here's where we at. Where do we plan on being by the end of like June? Because the Toastmasters year ends in June.
Oh, interesting.
I know it's kind of weird, but like also different parts of the world do different things, so like it makes sense that it's kind of in the middle of the year.
Right.
Because Toastmasters is international.
It's an
Fun
international
fact.
program.
Yeah. So he wanted to know like what my plan was now that like I've been. He he worded it nicer than I did. I'm like, now that you've been like working incredibly hard the last like all of February and March now for like Toastmasters, like what is your plan? Are you gonna take a break? Like what do you want to do? And I was like, all right, can I share my screen, walk you through the pathways, and explain to you why I think some projects will take longer? And yes, I'm taking a break probably from like the end of March to like the end of April. Like give myself a month break from like speeches and project work. Um, just for a little bit because I will be moving and doing all that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and But I also told him I'll probably start earlier because I'm too much of a go-getter. And he's like, "That's fair. I'll just say sometime in April you'll be back working on projects." I'm like, yes. And then I showed him like all my pathways and the options I want to go through, and he's like, "Okay, so level 3 might take you a little while because I told him I want to take my time with the first project, which is understanding your emotional intelligence, which I think is super important
Oh boy.
for me because I guess I'll let you in on a little thing with my therapy sessions. Uh,
Ooh.
I have to use it. I'm really bad at identifying feelings, so I've been using like a feelings wheel. So I think I need this to like take my time with it and really let it sink in.
Right.
And then I have electives for level 3, and one of them is the networking ones. And I do want to take my time with it because, well, Toastmasters is great. You can learn through the materials, and then you can write a speech about the materials or the things you've learned.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally how you can do it. It's very easy. You can fast track it incredibly quickly. But for me, for the networking one, I think it'd be good to do the program, learn the materials, and then go out and do what I've actually learned. So I
Ooh.
think that would be much more impactful, like speech and end of a project to me.
Mm-hmm.
So Austin said he'd really help me out with that when it comes to that. So he's like, okay, level 3 looks like it'll take you probably like, what do you think, month or two? And I'm like, yeah, like I'll probably maybe hopefully finish level 3 by the end of the Toastmasters year.
Hmm.
And then start level 4, which again, we went through the pathways and projects. It's like, yeah, that'll probably take you a little while too. So like another month maybe for that one, and level 5 maybe by the end of 2021. I'm like, we'll see. Because level 5 has a really
Damn.
big project that I want to do, which is like becoming a leader in a volunteer organization.
Ooh.
So that one will probably take quite a bit. He's like, you know what? That makes sense. So we kind of basically mapped out my year for Toastmasters. Then he shared me his. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to laugh at you parking right now, but
I thought I could go that way. I went the wrong way. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. Don't mind me. I'm being dumb.
yes. Anyway, we went through all that and got a plan, and then we both got to the point where he's like, "Oh my god!" And he was so excited that I was coming on Tuesday, like next Tuesday, for like the other Toastmasters meeting
Mm-hmm.
because I'm gonna be delivering my contest speech there. So
Ooh.
get their feedback, and he's like, "Oh, I get to hear it." I'm like, "You do?" And he's like, "Yes." But then I also told him about the podcast, and now he wanted me to link him up, like he wanted me to link him to the video for today so that he could listen to the podcast. And so in my email to him today, that's bus.
That's a bus indeed.
That scared me. Um,
It's okay. It scared me too. Try not to run
uh,
over that car either.
so yeah, when I sent him the email with the link of the video, I also put in, you might want to stop it at this time because that's the contest speech. So you can either choose to listen to it in the video now and give me feedback before the meeting on Tuesday, or you can be surprised and wait till Tuesday.
Just wait until later.
Yes, I gave him the options, and We'll see. I'll find out on Tuesday.
Ooh, dang. We'll see if he actually watches it or not.
I think he will. I think he's the kind of guy that will do like anything for anyone at this point. So like, he's really sweet.
Aw, that's amazing.
Uh,
He's cool.
yeah. Yeah, that was that. And then I stayed up late because our meeting ran late. We ended up talking for like an hour and a half. Oh, yes,
Would
question.
you, would setting this up on OBS be considered art?
The way Daryl does it, yes.
Well, that's a red light. I distracted driving. Um, yes. Wait, what things? You may, or is it for your alertathon? Yeah, then it would be probably art. Actually, when in doubt, just chatting. Anyways, don't mind me. I flew through a red light like beautifully.
Nice. Yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, like I got. Yes, our meeting went late because we ended up talking on like went on so many different tangents basically, which was hilarious. And we talked about everything and anything not related to Toastmasters as well as Toastmasters. So it was a good time.
Hey, at least it's a conversation, right? Just conversing with your fellow member, if not friend.
I would say friend at this point. The way like he's been amazing with it. But at the
Oh,
end of the
that's amazing.
meeting, he offered like next week. So I'm gonna be busy again next week. If you guys haven't figured this out, I've stayed up late Monday night, stayed up late Tuesday night, stayed up late Wednesday night. I'm running on an average of 5 hours of sleep every night this week so far.
Hey, it's
So
better than fumes.
that's true. I've done that before. Uh, but he's also offered to meet with me a couple times next week before the contest, so we can do our own
Ooh.
dry run of the contest. And I was like, yes, I need this. So we're gonna try to get that all scheduled up. Then, yeah, stayed up a little late, and then I had to be up at 3 a.m. Thursday
Oh boy.
because I was teaching an ESL class at 4 a.m. for a little sweet angel girl in China.
Oh, it's be your VIP kid thing, isn't it?
Yes. VIP Kid is an organization that helps connect students in China to native English speakers in all over the world to teach them English. So I do that on the side. I started in the UK, and since I've been in Canada, it's really hard to figure out what times work best for me to do this. And apparently, I chose the hours before I go to work to do it. So
Because that's like prime time hours, right? I think.
yeah, it's like the hot hours or however they I don't remember what the prime time. Yeah, I guess so, prime time hours. For kids to sign up because it's like basically right after school for them.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. And plus, I'm like, I have to be up early for work anyway. What's an extra hour? And well, I learned my lesson because I'm fucking tired today. But yeah, that lesson went really well. It's just an assessment class, so it's just me with like a little notebook and taking her through the slides and marking what
Mm-hmm.
she did well and didn't do well. And yeah, she did really great. It was really nice to see her again too. She was a reoccurring
Oh.
student of mine
Ooh, I
in the
see.
UK, and
Did
I
she
hadn't seen
miss
her in a
you?
while. Oh yeah, she's like, it's so good to see you, teacher, and I'm like,
Oh.
I'm really
She's
happy
a
to see
sweetheart.
you too, Jessie. Like she's so sweet.
Right.
So I did that. Then I went to work for 4 hours, and I mean, there's nothing to really say. It was work.
I mean, you're just getting used to your new manager, which hopefully we'll learn more how well your new manager would be as your new manager.
Well, I can't give feedback on that just yet,
Right, right,
as this management change literally happened like over Thursday and Friday last week.
right.
So then the schedule for this week is already set in stone. So my manager, Daniela, has to work the schedule as normal, like a normal employee this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, the following week, with based on her schedule, she gets to create her management schedule finally.
Ooh.
So we'll probably see her a lot more next week where she can really step into the role better. She's basically been doing like a lot of management training, I guess, upstairs the whole week.
Right,
Because we've been pretty on top of things. Like, at least the days I've worked, we've been on top of things. So
right. You saw nothing, by the way.
I paused and saw all of that.
I thought I was being smart, like taking the turn wide and whatnot, except my truck was not having it.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, so then I did all that. Then I got picked up from work because my stepdad had an interview for a job at like
Ooh.
right at 10 when I was off. So we ended up just driving around a little bit, going to a couple stores. I got myself my next book club book
Ooh.
for the U of A Alumni Club. Very fancy. And yeah, I came back home and had lunch and took a goddamn 2 hour nap.
It's the first time in like a long time you've ever taken a nap, right?
Yes, which probably tells you a lot about how this week has been for me.
Definite, you need a definite needed rest there.
Yes, and then yeah, I took a nap and then I worked on my speeches more and practiced them out loud. Especially for my mentoring one because I really want to get that memorized before Saturday, so I'm working on that quite a bit. And then yeah, I'm here and it's almost 10 my time,
Oh
and
my.
I could pass the hell out right now, to be honest. But that's been my crazy week.
Productive week.
Yeah,
And then I guess like looking towards like the future, right? Like towards the weekend. You got your mentoring speech coming up this Saturday. And then your big thing next week. Dang, you still got like a lot. It's still a lot of things to do, even with the things you've done so far
well,
and
let
learned
me
about.
break it down for you a little bit further. Working 8 hour shift tomorrow, doing just literally full speech practice basically all day after I get off work.
Right.
Then Saturday I'm teaching at 9 a.m. I do have a student signed up for one of my classes.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Toastmasters, which is my mentoring speech day to finish my level 2. Then Sunday I'm teaching again at 3:30, which by the way, this is probably a good indication to you of like, can we do a Saturday night call? Please.
Okay, I'm gonna. I will see if I can.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah. So anyway, there's that. I'm teaching in Toastmaster stuff on the weekend.
Ooh.
Then yeah, then the following Saturday is my big contest. But before then, I have a Toastmasters meeting on the Tuesday to practice the contest speech, which is great.
Nice.
I've got like, yeah, again, it's just really next week is like my 4 days of work, lots of speech practice, some D&D on Monday, and teaching and Toastmasters, and yeah. Friday night
Hot
I'll have a late
damn.
night. Friday night will be a late night because we're doing a dry run for the contest as a club.
Oh, okay.
Just to figure out the technology because there's special requirements needed, like breakout rooms and different things for like
Ooh.
counting the ballots and such. So we're gonna do all that.
Ooh, fun.
We're not gonna actually, Austin and I are not gonna deliver our speeches though because all of the judges and timers and everyone will be there, so they don't want to give that away before the day.
And it's like no spoily.
Yeah, so that's why Austin and I are gonna arrange a couple times next week to also meet so we can do dry runs together and give
Nice.
feedback and just like really help us fine tune it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. The best rival I've ever had in a competition, to be honest.
I mean, considering how much you speak about like Austin during this stream, and then what I heard personally, he really is like your. It's gonna sound weird. I'm gonna say that. I'm really gonna say this though. He sounds like your very good atypical anime rival.
A little bit, but like also not in the sense of like I'm gonna tear you down. It's
Right.
more of like we're gonna work.
Wish you
Honestly,
all the
okay,
best. Fist bump.
this is gonna be the weirdest um weirdest comparison. But you remember when and what makes me go with Snafu when it was like Hachiman and the girl running for like the dance
Yeah.
like organizing.
Right.
It's basically like that where they were both
Oh
really
my
secretly helping
god.
each other out but also like wanting to win, so
Oh my god. But honestly, yeah. That's a way to put it, and I could see it.
um
Wait, which way
except
to
for
go? Oh
we
shit, this way.
are way more upfront and holy crap. Holy crap. But we are way more like upfront and like directly supportive of each other versus those two who are like, I gotta do it in secrets and behind her back. Ugh.
Well, lo and behold, I was doing secrets behind your back, and guess what? We got out of here. Sort of deal like that.
Yeah. So it's really cool. It's very fun to do all this, and I'm very excited for this next couple weeks because the contest is on next Saturday, and depending on who wins, according to Austin, it's going to be me, but I'm telling him no because there's a good chance he could win too based on content alone. Because his speech is basically, it's called Destination Unknown, and
Ooh.
it's basically about how many different times in life you take a pivot and change direction, and
Oh.
how you will still be going through that in your life no matter what, especially after the last year we've had. So it's a
Oh
hugely,
shit.
super immediately relatable topic that everyone can connect to. So that's why I'm like,
You guys have really deep topics, but I mean, I guess that makes sense for something like a contest. Like you want to
yeah,
really go out of your norm. It's not. It's like nothing like a typical speech. As like if again, I would suggest hearing out the latest episode of the Dragon's Den, her podcast, just to see what kind of speeches they do on Toastmasters. It's like a good way to figure out like again what speeches. Out of all of it, like again, your contest speech is like the most deepest compared to the rest of your speeches that you've done so far.
yeah. So I put the link there again. It's my baby, and I've already got like something like 7 or 8 views on it, which is like
Ooh, hype.
I must have been able to really hype it up enough somehow. So it's really good. Oh, and I think Austin's gonna be putting it in our club newsletter that him and Jane are starting together. So that's really cute. I love it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So lots of stuff. But anyways, back to the contest. Depending on who wins on March 6th, the big area contest happens on the 20th.
Oh, damn.
Yes, and it's funny in the contest rules, you can choose to do the same speech again, or you could do a new one. And I'm like, bruh, you want to know how many speeches I've written in like 4 weeks? Four.
I think I'm good.
I think I'm okay. And then yeah, after the area contest, it takes a little while for all the like areas and stuff like that to get sorted and organized and see who wins
Right.
what. And then there's like the further levels, like I think like district, and it goes up higher from there. Because
Damn.
it goes to the international level. So it is the
Ooh.
international speech contest. So
My god. Oh, that'd be so cool. It'd be like such a. It's like tournament arc. What a deal. Gotta.
yeah,
It's like the only thing I can reference is anime, but it's like you're kind of living like an anime sort of deal with what you're doing right now. It's interesting. It's really
yeah,
interesting, fascinating, and honestly, like I'm excited for you.
yeah. That girl in the anime that we're talking about, Snafu. I really forget her name right now.
Same.
But like, you know how she got so exhausted because she was constantly working all the time on different things to like really,
Yeah.
for her reasons, so it's to kind of like stand up to her mother. But like for me, it's all personal reasons, like growth and like development kind of
Right.
thing. Um, I'm kind of at her stage right now where I'm like, all these things are like what I really want to do and need to do. It's just like, oh, I can't wait. On one hand, I can't wait for it all to be over because I need like a slowdown after this. Like, definitely take like a couple weeks of break from like speeches completely after the contest.
Right.
And like just do different like various roles in the club. Like I do want to try my hand at Toastmaster once in the club, like as that, and General Evaluator.
Ah.
Those are the only two I haven't done yet. So
Ooh. So just like
yeah,
you're gonna at least get into like the all aspects of Toastmasters in some ways eventually. Hopefully in the future.
yeah. For those that don't know what those roles are, like I did in the previous episode to this one, I go into what Toastmasters really is, what the different roles are, what a typical meeting looks like, and I kind of go into all that. So if you're like, this is all great about speeches and stuff, but like, what does it actually do? Well, it's in episode 7. Yeah.
Good enough.
Really?
Yeah. I gave up on that shit. I'm like, that's like I am not completing that turn to save my life.
Yeah. So lots of things happening, very busy, very like chaotic, but
All fun nonetheless.
it's been really good to have this like big wave of motivation finally.
Aw, that's good to hear. Because again, I'm gonna like, I don't know if I want to really preface this, but it's like, considering what has happened again. Oh shit! Car came out of nowhere. Stupid. Anyways, considering like everything that has like been going through, I'm still glad and happy for you for like at least the last couple weeks. Cause holy crap, the most productive like production you've done, like being very productive and everything. Sure, it may be tiring. I know. It's like hearing everything you've done and then kind of like this the small hours of sleep. But it's like everything. It's all for for like good cause and everything.
Yeah, if you really want like a very quick summary of everything right now, guys, I have technically four jobs right now. Tutoring, VIP kid, out school, retail. I'm doing a lot of Toastmasters work on the side, going to club 2 times a week while also writing speeches and memorizing them. I'm recording 2 episodes a week for the channel that are hour or more longer.
Mm-hmm.
And I am preparing to move, and I'm gonna be DMing in a D&D campaign. So, yeah, girl.
Yeah. Holy crap, that's a lot. It's a lot on
Yes.
your plate, but again, I'm ever easily amazed on the amount of things you do. But again, it's like everything is all like just it's all productive things. It's like nothing
Yep.
that
There's literally a purpose to every single thing that I'm
yeah.
doing. It's not because I can. Well,
Or
partially
being
it is also because I can.
right,
But it's
nor it's
all
being
for a
like
purpose.
right, and it's like you're not being forced to do it. It's everything. It's like everything is like there for again as a purpose.
Yeah. I remember telling Austin about my four jobs, and he's like, "We are so lucky to have you, and that you have the time for us." And I was like, "Oh."
Oh, oh,
um,
bless your heart, honestly.
yeah. It's just I think this week feels way better. I know I'm exhausted, so it's also like, cohesive thoughts. What? But
Right.
what's nice about this week compared to last week is that like I have officially let go of like the really bleh thing that happened last week.
Oh,
Because I was basically accused of like ruining D&D for someone, which basically broke me all week because it's something I'm trying to bring more people into.
right,
So that kind of like um the difference there, like just to have those two very different things going on at the same time was just so incredibly hard
right.
on me. So like to have come into this week, like after a weekend of teaching D&D and getting like really good reviews and feedback from parents, I was like, no, that's on them.
That's their opinion. You hear from other people collectively saying that you're doing a good job. So one person or a lot of people, right?
Exactly.
Who
So like
has a
this
bigger
week I'm
say?
like, yeah, this week has been like way better. I know it's been chaotic, and I know I talked for like over an hour on all of this because it's just so much, but it's also super, super good. And it feels good. Oh, and I'm also
Honestly, I'm happy
fundraising
for
for
that.
Extra Life as well, and I'm trying to figure out when to do incentives and rewards, and I'm trying to figure that all out too, and it will happen.
Ooh, all right. Oh shit. So if you want to share your extra life thing too, I I really should. You could. I mean, maybe I should create a command for your thing. Dragon extra
I,
life.
I, I really should, but I'm too tired to do that right now in brain.
That's understandable.
So I'm just gonna paste it. But yeah, I'm doing Extra Life as well this year. I have hit incentives in the last like month, and I promise I will do them. I'm working on it. I did get paid recently, so like
Hype.
the yes, the international food stream will happen. The coffee tasting stream will happen. I just gotta find time in my tiny little bit of time I have to do it.
Especially for the past couple months. Crazy.
I, I know. I think it'll probably come either before I move, like that week before I
Mm-hmm.
move, probably, because that will be like a slower down time where like, okay, speech contest done. Oh, then I could take that week to kind of like, let's do things together as a community again and like reach out and be social with you all again. That kind of thing.
Aww.
Yeah. Because the only time I've been social on Discord is like, hey guys, you want to hear my speech?
I was like, does this sound good?
Yeah, pretty much. Which is so pathetic. And I'm just like, I love you
Aww.
guys. You're my greatest friends. And I gotta go. Bye.
Aww.
Yeah, so. Oh,
Hot damn. And breathe.
that's something I have to often remember to do some days, so.
I have a like also. Is it bad that I kind of I'm doing unnecessary shaking? My bad. It's like, is it bad like kind of notices like when you do your speech podcast, like you're doing your speeches, I hear it's like and breathe. Like I could hear your tones of when you're just like you're talking and then suddenly breathe, breathe again.
Yeah, yeah, like, I was really tempted to edit those little pauses out too between like things, but I'm also
Mm-hmm.
like, no, this is actually a very natural human thing,
It really
is to
is.
take a deep breath before you do a speech. So it's
Yeah,
like, I'm keeping it.
keeping like the pace, like it shows your sort of pacing and whatnot.
Yeah, so it's been a week, but also
It's
really
been a hot
good.
minute. Hot. Ooh, this thing has a microwave. Anyways.
Well, my date and his van has a full ass like bed, living room, fridge setup, so
Right? Oh, like that must look nice.
it's a work in progress. But
Oh,
I
is
think
it?
it's gonna look really, really good when it's all finished.
Oh, that's amazing. That's weird. I have a little thing. Maybe that's a pet door. Yeah, guys, I'm just
Um,
looking at this truck now. I kind of want to configure a brand new truck. I've had like so much mileage on my last truck. Oh, that is beautifully American.
America,
America. Fuck yeah.
gross,
That's
gross.
also
Ugh,
America.
that
Ooh, Palm
eagle.
Beach. That is very. Yes, I will drive a cold fire truck.
Cold fire truck.
Look at it. It's beautiful. Ooh, this looks like a standard sort of pink color. Oh, I like some of these pink colors, like paint designs. I'm try to do something like simple.
While you're doing all these things aside, speaking of weather this week, we've had random bursts of snow here and
Oh,
there that will literally last like 5 minutes and then disappear.
nice.
And I'm like, weather, you okay?
I love you
Like,
too,
it's really
Snow.
nice out. Yeah, it's like really nice and warm, but like, you okay, bro? And hi, GAD Pro 26.
Oh, hi, JD Pro 26. I'm probably actually we're almost ending the stream. I'm just looking at trucks right now because I'm wanting to purchase a new one still.
Yeah, I'm just gonna share some links that you may have missed in the meantime. And I'll share all of the spams while he's
Looking at
truck
trucks.
buying, shopping, because that's what he does.
I'll be right. This is a plain ass truck. There we go.
That's not your shit. Fuck spam. I don't know your shit.
Yeah, it's. I know. I do that. I should really put links on that too. I will
Yeah,
actually may buy a new truck in the next stream. I might customize it later because this will take me a while. um,
that's fair, but that's where you can find all of us at various times outside of streaming. So really, just click on all of those things and do all of the things.
pretty much. Again, thank you so much, Dragyn, for being an amazing guest. um, just like speaking out of everything that you've done so far this week, it's very motivating actually. Hearing of all the things, even if it was like one sour thing that kind of happened last week, it all got washed away of the amount of things you've done this week.
Yeah, like literally what happened last week, like basically has been forgotten until like I remembered it
Mm-hmm.
today.
Oh, I
So
didn't mean to
it's
do that. Oops.
nice. Oh,
Sorry. I like changed scenes and then I realized. Thank you, JD Pro, for the follow.
oh.
My thing went off as I changed scenes. My bad.
Yeah.
Thanks
I'm
for the
glad
follow,
to hear
dude.
that like my crazy chaotic life is motivating in some ways.
Oh yeah. Like again, it's just like a lot of things like that you said that you've done. And sure, it may have made you tired and whatnot, but knowing what you've done is like honestly amazing. Like to hear. So
Oh,
hopefully we can hear more, especially when March is coming through. Cause hot damn, what a February for a
you
lot of
guys could
people,
say that like
especially me.
my March, the way that my February is ending, my March is really coming in like a lion. Mm. I'm really glad I'm not on webcam right now because you guys would have saw me do the lamest dab ever.
Y'all seem so genuine right off the bat, so I wouldn't mind watching the stream. All right, no problem. So we do this every Thursday, as it kind of points out. I guess did you do exclamation point TNTT? Ooh,
No, I didn't, but I will do the thing.
okay.
There's information about what we do.
Yeah, so usually I stream like twice a week, and usually this is the time wherever I stream like Truck Simulator, whether it's European Truck Simulator, which I should probably get into back again. I just been liking American Truck Simulator, and we just talk about random things and whatnot. So it becomes like a very wholesome stream for about 2 hours or so.
Yeah, especially when I'm on it because I don't make him do game tutorials. I love you,
Yeah, that last
AJ.
week's
I
stream was a
tease.
thing. That was a thing. I thought I was gonna get more out of it. No, we just ended up playing, quote unquote, playing City Skylines with a friend. So,
It was really
um,
funny.
but
But
yeah, feel free to join in for like next week. I also have like VODs. I know Dragon has posted up my YouTube link. I upload this to YouTube every Tuesday. If you ever miss out, um, just like if you just tune in halfway, you want to hear the rest of the stream, it'll be there amongst all the other stuff. I've been uploading videos and such and whatnot. Well, that's what I love, so I will look into it. Awesome! Thank you so much, JD Pro. That was really cool.
and
Uh,
as for me, I am on all the things Twitter,
Twitter.
YouTube. I've got a podcast started for like every Thursday. So before this stream, it's uploaded on the
Really, it
channel.
actually is.
And then I also do like a gaming thing once a week as well. It's been Stardew Valley lately, so if that's not your thing, I get it. I also do coffee. I will need to get posting on there more.
Ooh,
I will,
right.
I promise, one day. Twitter. I have a Discord and I things. Everything is in the chat. Just give a scrolling.
Gee, yeah. So give both of us a follow. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you'll find like enough fun derpy content between the both of us, amongst other people that I have here on the stream. So,
Oh yeah.
um, I guess are we here to close it out here, Dragon? Since I accidentally changed screens.
Yes, please.
I know
Bed.
you need to get to bed. You have a long day tomorrow. I'm also here. Well, I'm all gonna end the stream here, Izzy. I hope you guys had a fun time watching this stream. Again, I'm gonna early, late, and forever the future. Congratulations to you, Dragon. I wish you all the best, and like for your tournament arc sort of thing. I will be calling it tournament arc now. Um, amongst like all the other speeches you're doing, all the other things you're doing. Hopefully, we'll learn more about it in the upcoming weeks, and then we'll be here to talk about it.
I'm happy to be here to talk about my craziness. So yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem. In any case, I hope you guys gave her a follow. Hope you gave me a follow. I hope you guys have a great day or night or wherever the heck you are. That's Dragon over there somewhere. And this is Spam Waits. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Everyone say poop.
Bye.